Now, what is the number one objection you think a child will give you going into the military? What if I die? This pattern was used by military recruiters to recruit kids into the military. Start with, I can appreciate that. Then we go to, and what would happen if? Because when you say, what would happen if, it causes the brain to begin to imagine. And when the brain is imagining something, it doesn't know the difference between your imagination and reality. Then you say, because. When you say the word because, the brain opens a loop and it wants that loop closed. Then, if you'd be willing to do the thing I want you to do, then I'd be willing to, and you give some kind of a concession. And then you close. Give me an objection and I'll walk you through this step by step. Julie, okay, I don't want to sign with 3% on your BBRA. I can appreciate that you don't want to do that. And what would happen if you did hire the right agent who's going to take care of you from beginning all the way to the end? Because when you hire someone who's willing to take a discount, they don't treat you as if they're getting paid the whole percentage, right? You don't get the attention you need. That's not what you want, is it? In fact, when they cut their commission, that's actually proof they're not going to do a good job for you. Interesting, right? So if you'd be willing to sign the BBRA at the full commission, I'd be willing to waive my transaction fee that I usually charge is $14.99. Is that fair? So to sign, all I need you to do is press hard. Bottom copy's yours.
Started asking the why is that important to you? The criteria questions. What does that do for you? We got to this deep conversation about how their mother had a stroke, you related to them, and you created the deep connection. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Very good. Give him a round of applause. That's big news.
Is there in a three-piece suit? The guy looks sharp, he talks well, people speak to him, he has a lot of interaction.
So you have one of these.
Yeah.
Okay? That says people don't want to talk to me because of something. Well, that's BS.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. When people don't feel comfortable, something you said made them feel like you're a threat. That is something that we can change. I want you to write this down. People want to talk to someone who makes them feel safe. Have any of you experienced this before? You're having a conversation with a complete stranger, but you have no agenda. There's nothing you're trying to do, and so they just open up and start talking to you. You ever had that before? It's because you had no agenda. It's because you had nothing hidden. You were just being you. And because you were just being and just letting things happen, they open up and they start talking to you. I'm going to shift real quick and talk about a Harvard study. So Harvard ran the science on this. What they did is they took a handful of surgeons and they recorded their conversations that they were having with their patient. They took these 40-second clips of these conversations and ran them through a computer. And through the computer, they were able to remove all of the actual words that they used. And all they did was listen to the tone. By listening to just the tone, not the words. No words were heard, just the tone. These people could tell which ones they did and didn't trust. And the ones they didn't trust were sued for malpractice with nearly 100% accuracy. By hearing the tone alone, they could tell who got sued. Here's a question for you. What does this mean when you speak to a prospect? When you're doing your listing presentation, when you're doing your prospecting, when you're doing your lead follow-up, why aren't sales trainers talking about this? Why aren't the sales trainers you're going to talking about these studies? Why aren't they talking about how people are making up their mind on the tone, not even on the words?